2017 was a truly disruptive year for the media industry as ad revenue plunged in all but one segment. Clearly, change is imminent. For Astro Radio CEO Datuk Jake Abdullah, who has just added 2 new frequencies, the future lies in the niche segments, the young Chinese and urban Malay markets. Jake, good of you to talk to me. I grew up listening to you on radio. You used to be a morning show DJ back in the day.
I was the content manager and drive DJ.
And
but
drive
I used to
DJ,
appear in the
yeah.
morning show
That's
with
right,
Kevin
right.
Fly Guy.
That's right. So fast forward 20 years later, Astro Radio has bought 2 frequencies, 104.9 and 88.9. And it's going to be coming out of these 2 incarnations. One is kind of like a social media Mandarin platform for young Chinese. This is more of a progressive Malay Muslim platform. This kind of indicates the radio strategy for Astro right now, right? In a nutshell, what is the thinking?
I think we had to look at the available formats that available niche that is available. Yeah. To me, Zayan is, as I was talking to you earlier, the halal economy has grown tremendously. There is a need for it.
The which economy?
Halal. So and Islamic banking, Islamic food, Islamic clothing. It's all mainstream. If you're driving on the highway and you see the boards, they're all SMEs, Muslim SMEs.
Tudongs and shampoos and what have you.
So we wanted to reflect a brand that is younger, but and able to portray all this faith, while also keeping it very contemporary. So that's why you will see you'll hear contemporary music, aimed at the younger target, because what we see is the younger generation are proud of their faith, and the tudongs are coming out, and so that's great. So,
but the thing is, niche radio is not new. I think Capital tried to do a Malaysian equivalent of the London station. And I think Capital.
We had a failure with classic rock in the beginning.
Classic rock,
so, yes.
That's right. You had talk radio as well.
Yes.
And then, but that was 20 years ago. So things have changed. And then the women's channel, the Star used to own then. So what is the secret sauce behind niche radio?
I think it's a lot of research. We can't do it blindly. We actually researched these 2 formats for about a year.
What kind of intel did you use?
Mostly qualitative studies.
Okay. What does that mean?
We researched. We used outsourced our research. We had a sample size of a few hundred, asking them what do they want without actually giving out the format.
Okay, so you took a
qualitative research. Yes,
okay.
And so in fact for both of this. And then we understand that there was a space in the market for goXUAN and Zayan. So but goXUAN is a different proposition. Unlike all our other stations, this is not a radio station. This is an online property with a radio station. It's reverse. In fact, the breakfast show is not the breakfast show. The biggest show is the night show.
Okay.
So it's driven. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's driven off an app.
So it's all the night owls of the young kids.
Exactly. It's driven off an app. Most of the stuff they do is visual. Back from my time, at DJs, when you say you had to look for radio, these days you got to be 360.
Correct. So then, how does the proposition sell to advertisers?
Anything from branded content to product placements to shareable content across messaging, instant messaging like WhatsApp or YouTube or Snapchat, Insta Stories. Everything is done there first before the consideration of the FM.
So how is that ad revenue monetized? Because on Instagram you might not, I'm not sure what the model is there. And then you've also got the whole social media giants. You've got the Facebooks and the Googles. How do you interplay with those 2 behemoths?
I mean, you cannot deny the fact of the monstrosity of Facebook and Google.
Because they seem to be sucking all the revenue.
They are, and they will continue to do so. However, what I feel is the ability of radio to engage.
Right.
You're in radio, and engagement is so important. Otherwise, it's just a one-way traffic, and we're depending on analytics just to solely say. I mean, it's great they have analytics. I know you go to a website and it stalks you for a week.
Yeah,
that's fine. I think what this does is the ability for them to share what they like bite-sized content across this, and that's very important. In fact, we launched a watch radio ethos last year because we realized that radio is not an audio experience anymore. It's just not linear. It's a 360 experience. More people are watching radio than actually listening to radio. So if you ask students these days, have you heard of station? They say no. So in fact, the word listener is also an oxymoron now. They're fans. We are moving away from calling them listeners. They're all fans.
So again, just here to go back to the social media giants, but the Facebooks are doing content partnerships, the YouTube are doing content partnerships. I think even Instagram might be considering it. So how do you interplay what you're doing? And do you tie up, do you partner with these guys, or do you fight against these guys?
You're talking about the monetization.
Correct, and the content partnerships, right?
Yeah. I also run another company for Astro called Rocket Fuel Entertainment, which consolidates all the talent under the group and also in the region. So what we do is, to me, is if I hold the best talent in the country, in other words, I had first dibs to, assuming you are ex-advertiser, you come to me, I own the talent end to end, 360. So I take a small cut on whatever they bring. But I think that the most important thing is the ability to develop content for the client. You know?
Okay,
and
so
the clients are cognizant of the fact that, you know what I mean, it doesn't sit on mainstream platforms anymore.
So it's the whole social media, kind of like
Insta
content
stories.
creator stories.
Yes.
So how nuanced is it going to be? Because at the end of the day, the viewer or the listener or the reader or the social media consumer, they don't want to be sold product, right? They know that if you watch an Instagram partner or a brand ambassador or influencer, they kind of know by now that they're being sold product, even subtly. So how do you get around that?
I think it shouldn't be a hard sell. If all this, you know, a good example was My FM, one of our stations, worked with Genting to promote their outlets in Genting. But what we did was, instead of just promoting, hey, go to Genting, we did all the shoots in Genting, and it's a radio station, and all the segments content was put onto a Facebook site.
So then Genting is the subtle sell. Okay.
You know, and they feel that it's more engagement like that, and it's shareable content. So I think engaging content is the key criteria that is going to differentiate everybody, and we cannot run away from the fact that money, advertising dollar is going to be leaked to social influencers and key opinion leaders. It's happening.
Yeah.
You know, so rather than complain about it, I think this is a way of actually putting some order into it.
Yeah.
So I got a red card for this.